What's up? Welcome to the Sports Sidebar Podcast. You're tuned in with your boy Rich, and I'm here with my buddies Tom and JD, and we're about to get this thing started. Let's go! All right, ladies and gentlemen, got a brand new episode for everybody tonight, episode 95. How's everybody doing tonight?
Doing good, Rich. How you doing?
Doing great, man. Enjoying the summer. Got some good shows on. A good, nice little 4th of July weekend. How are you guys doing over there?
Yeah, about the same. Doing pretty good. Getting ready for a weekend in Saratoga this weekend, and then a few more weeks down here in Massachusetts before we head down south.
Oh yeah, you guys will be Southerners now, so.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You guys got to come back with some accents.
I don't think that's gonna happen. Maybe Finley, but
it's gonna be fun to see.
Yeah.
Y'all gonna be saying y'all and what else do they say? They be saying something else. Pretty funny.
Yeah, it's just like up here. They think we're hilarious with some of the words we use.
It's funny though, like when they tell you like, oh, you have an accent. You're not from here. I'll be like you don't like yourself. You don't hear, but when I guess what they hear is like what we hear when they talk.
Exactly.
So let's get right into it, man. I mean, not too much to cover in NFL. The Deshaun Watson situation is still going on. Looks like the NFL met in reference to his punishment, but nothing's been announced yet. It's like we're gonna have to wait for them to announce it, man. I know Cleveland's off season kicks off, like their training camp kicks off on July 16th. As long as you think we're gonna have to wait, man, to get this ruling.
I honestly thought they were gonna do it last week. They love to do the news drop right before a holiday weekend. So I thought they'd drop it Friday. They didn't. So I'd expect to hear it probably by the end of this week. Like you said, with training camps starting up later next week, I think they owe it to them to get the decision down. This has been a long time coming. So
yeah, wonder what the over under is on the year.
Yeah, I would guess it's going to be either indefinite or a year. I don't know. I just don't see it being any less than that based on their past suspensions.
Yeah, I wonder if they're going to count like his time last year as I want to say time served.
Maybe
that's going to be interesting to see as well.
Yeah, they could do that, and maybe that's part of the argument from Deshaun Watson's camp is like, hey, look, like we didn't play last year, basically amid all of this, so and who knows, maybe it'll be 6 games, and they'll say he spent a year out last year, and that's that.
Yeah, but I think the NFL also needs him to be. Well, I mean, they don't really need them. They still got a young group of young stars that they can lean on as far as like faces to put in front of, the brand. But having another good quarterback is always going to help. So.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And then on to the NBA. NBA's getting spicy in the off season. Just what we expected. We thought Kyrie was going to get traded or not signed, but we got something even better. Your boy Kevin Durant demands a trade. I mean, as of right now, some of the teams that are trying to get him. Looks like it's Phoenix, Toronto, and then the Heat were some of the leading teams. But from what I'm hearing, it sounds like Phoenix is making a push all in to try to get him. How are you feeling about this news, man?
I guess I'm not terribly surprised. And I know we probably thought with Kyrie opting back in that he may stay, but it looks like it went the other way. And
he's like, you're coming back?
Yeah, pretty much. I don't know. I mean, I'm not terribly surprised by it. I mean, I was maybe a little surprised that it was Phoenix, was on the kind of top of his list. But I guess if you think about it, it does kind of make sense. They don't really have a guy like him. I mean, on that squad, you got Booker, you got Paul, you got Ayton, who may or may not be on the team next year. And you don't really have that stretch forward type player. I guess what's his name? Cam Johnson.
Yeah.
He's kind of that kind of player, but obviously not anywhere close to Durant.
But I don't know if that dynamic works with Chris Paul, Kevin Durant, and Devin Booker, man. I don't know if I mean, you can't say it won't work. It's like it's kind of like a mini Golden State when you look at it, or a different version of it. But I mean, just Kevin Durant, he pretty much fits anywhere, just because of how he plays. Kind of unselfish, can score, and very effective. So But I mean, if he goes to the West, man, it's going to be, just think about all these matchups. You know, you got them, you got the Clippers, you got Golden State, you got the potential Lakers, then you have the Grizzlies, you got Denver, healthy Denver coming in. Who knows how Portland's going to look? You know, they were battered up in injury last year. I want to say like 14 of the 16 teams 14 of the 15 teams in the West can make the damn playoffs if it was just like a best record. But it's going to be very interesting to see how things play out.
Yeah. I think the West is always tough to come out of. Obviously, throwing Durant over there. I mean, Phoenix is already, a top 3 team in that conference. So throwing Durant in there, I don't know if it changes that dynamic that much in the West, but it makes Phoenix probably your odds-on favorite. Them in Golden State, right? And then, like you said, that drop to that tier 2, it's not as big of a drop as maybe in the Eastern Conference.
I said we're gonna have to wait and see, but it's also gonna depend on who they give up, because I feel like if you're Brooklyn, you're pretty much taking all those draft picks, Ayton, Bridges, Cam, Peyton. I mean, you pretty much gonna clean house, so to say. And then it's going to pretty much be who else Phoenix can get to fill that roster. So.
Yeah, maybe. I don't think that Phoenix totally blows it up for Durant. I'd say they give him, like you said, a couple good players and then a bunch of draft picks in, 4 or 5 years is my guess. The problem with Durant is he's 34. And not saying that he'll be fine for the next, however many years, 3 or 4 years. But he's 34. He's he's missed a lot of games over the past few seasons. And he makes, he's going to make $40+ million a year. So, and he already, he basically, bamboozled the Nets by saying he wants to trade. So right off the bat, his trade value is just down, right? Because now it's out in the open. He wants out of there. You don't have the leverage other than you have him under contract, and he's, a top 5 player in the league.
Oh yeah, definitely. And then on the other side, we got to see what happens with Kyrie. It looks like the Lakers were interested, but kind of seems like they're not. But I feel like Brooklyn's going to still try to get rid of him. The only thing it looks like, in my eyes, would make sense would be Kyrie for Westbrook, pretty much straight up. And then the Lakers probably have to throw in some first round picks. So I know Brooklyn's trying to get some picks. So they pretty much got no picks for like another 3-4 years from now. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I don't think anyone wants Westbrook back, but if it's the 1-year deal and then you're out of it, then whatever. But like you said, I think Brooklyn's gonna want those picks, and then maybe a younger player on the roster to match up salary. Actually, Brooklyn will probably have to send out another player to match up salaries.
Yeah, but that maybe it's a 3-team deal where where they get rid of Kyrie and KD at once, and then Westbrook comes in. And then somebody from Phoenix goes over to the Lakers, like a role player or something, and then to even things out. So it's gonna be this is gonna be one of the most interesting trades in a while. So no, I was gonna say you still got Ben Simmons sitting there. It'd be crazy if like they both leave and then Ben Simmons is like shooting jump shots when he comes back.
I don't even know what to think of what Ben Simmons is gonna do when he's like the only guy left on that team. Him and a bunch of guys that like TJ Warren coming off injuries, things like that. That should be quite the event in Brooklyn.
Yeah, but I think it might work out because, I mean, if he's pretty much like the ball handler and they got a bunch of shooters,
probably be fine.
They can possibly still make the playoffs. It's just going to be interesting. And then we're also going to see if Steve Nash can really coach or not. So,
oh yeah,
it's kind of been up in the air since he's had Kyrie and Durant. It seemed like he wasn't really coaching. He was like trying to be like more like Phil, just managing personalities, and then teams are getting in these situations and no adjustments are being made. So
yeah, no, I think you're right. I think this will be a make or break year for him because this is like when everyone left Miami, when Bosch and Bosch stayed. Bosch was hurt though, and then LeBron left, and then it was basically Dwayne Wade and Spo turned out to be a pretty good coach. So yeah, we'll see what he's got here.
And then another free agency news. I mean, the Celtics. You guys get a little steal. You guys get Brogdon for a bag of peanuts and some lint. How are you guys feeling about that?
Good. I like the trade. It gives them again more depth at the point guard position. Allows them to kind of move Marcus Smart around a little bit. They have now a couple guys, and I don't know why. I didn't realize Brogdon was as tall as he is. He's a pretty good rebounder.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, can dish the ball. I'd say coming off a couple of only okay years, but when he was in Milwaukee, I'm like, man, he used to kill the Celtics.
Yeah, he's a solid guy. Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe not being the the number 1 or 2 option will help him. He'll be able to defer to the Jays, and I think it's a good pick. And like you said, the Celtics really didn't give up much of anything. I mean, Neesmith, who I liked coming out of the draft, just hadn't done anything.
Yeah, hasn't shown anything.
No, and Tice is obviously exposed in the playoffs. Good regular season guy, good kind of minutes filler, but definitely expendable.
I'm interested to see who else you guys try to pick up, or any other role players you guys try to pick up on the team.
Yeah, I was gonna say between him and getting Danilo Gallinari again, short money on Gallinari. Could be a nice offensive weapon off the bench. Probably not going to play a lot of defense, but that's not what he's there for.
No, but I mean he's going to help you guys stretch the floor.
Yep.
Because I mean picture him instead of Grant Williams, shooting at 3. I mean you can't leave him open. So and then it's going to give you guys.
No, you're right.
It's going to give you guys opportunity to possibly move Grant in different spots. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this all pans out. I always loved Gallinari. That was my guy. Him and Wilson Chandler when they were on the Knicks. If we only would have waited a year for Melo, we could have got him for free in free agency. But we kind of gave up our future trying to get Melo and messed up some stuff. Don't get me wrong. The team was good. I liked the team, but then we just got hit with injuries, and then we had to go against the Celtics at that time. So we were struggling then. And then, the Knicks, they went out there, they get Jalen Brunson, but not without a price. The Mavericks are pissed off, accused the Knicks of tampering. Nothing we can do about that, man. We're just going to have to pay that fine. I mean, you can't hire somebody's somebody's dad on the coaching staff and not say it's tampering.
Yeah, it's just like, there's tampering going on all over the place. It's just, how mad do you make the other team for them to say something, right? It sounds like that the Mavericks didn't even get they wanted a shot to throw an offer out there, and it sounds like that they were upset they didn't even, that it sounded like the Knicks already had a done deal with them, with Brunson.
Yeah, because he didn't even take calls, so to say, from the Mavericks. So I mean, that kind of pushed them over the edge, especially knowing what they were trying to build. They felt like they were like a piece away from a championship team, so they felt like if they could keep him and bring somebody else in.
Yep.
Little did they know. And then
they know.
And then there was also some other. I mean, the Knicks. I feel like the Knicks still got to do a lot. We got to figure out how to move, get off the Randall contract and the Fournier contract. But I don't feel like I don't know if we can send both of them with some picks for Donovan Mitchell, because it looks like Utah's blowing it up. And then that haul that Utah got for Gobert, that was ridiculous.
I mean, this is what Danny does. He finds a team that's willing to basically give him whatever the hell he wants. And it may be like maybe a more desperate team in Minnesota that's finally got some momentum. They want to, add a piece or two and maybe get to the Western Conference Finals. You're looking at Gobert and I don't know. Maybe Danny doesn't value that, defensive center like that. But he obviously, was able to pull 4 first rounders and a pick swap or something like that. Yeah,
pretty much like 5 picks when you think about it. So for a defensive player of the year, which is unheard of. And then, they were showing some of his plus minuses. He was ranking like 200th or like between 100 and 200 in his plus minus in the league. So which wasn't that great because he can't really create a shot. They don't really have a point guard to, get him shots, kind of like Mitchell did. So it's going to be interesting to see how he pans out over there.
Yeah. And I don't think they're blowing it up I mean, they are, but I don't think, I think they're going to try to surround Mitchell with more talent now. I don't see Dave letting Mitchell go.
I don't know, man. You kind of look around and you say, who wants to come to Utah?
He's still 25. He's still young enough where I think that they give it a couple more years. And it's the NBA. I know it's who doesn't want to come to Utah, but basically it's like you got Miami and LA, right? Those are the 2 places people want to go. Other than that, it's where can these other people fit? So I think that you can probably get some decent talent in these other places now. I mean, look at who would have thought that, a couple of years ago, Giannis would stay in Milwaukee. think everyone was lining up thinking, no, he'll probably leave. What the hell does he want to do in Milwaukee? So I don't know. I don't think Mitchell's out yet, and obviously he gets more money staying in Utah, which is the pull. But I think they give it another year or two and see what happens.
We're gonna have to wait and see. If they start off slow, we're gonna see if Mitchell goes. And then there's some other free agents out there. I was interested to see where they go. I mean, Mo Bamba's a young center out there, 24, average about 10 and 8. And there's a bunch of other role players. So I'm interested to see the second wave of free agents, where they go.
Yeah, I'm surprised that Mo Bamba hasn't signed somewhere yet. I thought that was that he'd go fairly quickly. Those guys are not easy to come by. Those potential double guys.
Yeah, but maybe he's waiting for something to happen, or maybe he has a place or a team in mind, and he's waiting for them to clear up some stuff and looking to take less money for a chance to possibly win. And he's young. I mean, you can go get your championship now, and then you go get the money after. Kind of like I don't want to say like some of the players did on Golden State, but you can go sign a lesser deal with Golden State, then you win, and then all of a sudden now you're getting a 4 for 40 or a 4 for 70 or something crazy. Because teams want you to teams saw what you did on a championship winning team, and then they also want to make sure it's enough money to keep you away from the championship team. Kind of like what we saw with the Lakers when after they won, you saw all these guys getting these big deals. And you don't understand why, even though they were kind of like past their prime. But imagine if they're young, how much more money they're going to get. Mm-hmm. You got the NBA Summer League. No, you don't want to talk about it. Looking forward to seeing some of these players get out there, seeing some of the hidden gems on some of these teams. We got Murray playing tonight. I think we got Golden State playing tomorrow night or tonight.
They're playing Miami right now.
Oh, okay. And then I know there's another game at 10. I forget who's at the 10 o'clock game. They're pretty much kicking off this week and the next few weeks. So definitely want to keep an eye out for some of those games. I just want to see some of the top picks play. I want to see Holmgren play a little bit. And then some of the other guys like Ivy and Knicks ain't really getting nobody, but you never know. Maybe we found a gem somewhere that we didn't know about. But it's going to be interesting to see. And then some of these other names that were like in the G League or you see in college, but just didn't get drafted. So
yeah, I'll see him in October, Rich.
You might not, man, because they sometimes.
You're right. I might not. I'll see if they're on the roster in October.
Yeah. So you gotta have to wait and see, man.
Yeah, I think, you know how I feel about summer league. So yeah,
it's good to watch. I think it gives you more basketball.
Yeah.
And sometimes you'll get a good story out of it here and there, but I definitely feel where you're coming from. You can't take all these stats too serious, but sometimes you get somebody that's killing in G League and they kill in the NBA. So
yep, sure.
But definitely good to see. Then it just makes you recall that your team missed out on that player. You just want to pull your hair out.
Yeah, to me it happens more like in the NFL when these guys cut players in training camp and they come back to bite you. Danny Woodhead did to the Jets, and what Braxton Berrios is doing now with the Jets. But in the NBA, you sometimes get them. You can get like a decent role player out of there, but definitely harder to break in for sure.
But I think it's harder to tell with the NFL because there's no really like summer league. A lot of these players they're getting like preseason games, and they're only playing like 1 or 2 series, and they're kind of really judging them most of the time off of like practice. That's why they pay them the big bucks to figure it out. So
exactly.
Then on to MLB. We got the Allstar game coming up on the 19th, right around the corner. They're announcing some of the potential players that should be All-Stars. Your boy Judge is killing it.
I think he's on pace for like 60 home runs now.
Well, that's close as hell.
He's at 29. Well, Bonds is at like what, 73? Something ridiculous like that. But yeah, he's still in a good spot there. Like you said, leading the All-Star voting. Probably the favorite to win the MVP right now. The best player on the best team in baseball. Still, I think that whole team, the Yankees, are still kind of staying hot there in the East.
I wonder what was Bonds at on during the All-Star break. Do you remember what he was at?
Oh, jeez, I think he was close to 40, if not at 40.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, because the All-Star game, yeah.
Maybe them steroids about to kick in, man.
He's got to get on the right cycle.
I feel like you get it done and you get a little hot streak going.
I'm not saying it can't happen. I'm just saying he had 39 before the break. That's the most of all time.
I mean, there's some people right behind him too. Alonso's at Alvarez is at 43, and then Vlad Jr.'s at
Vladdy's at 19.
And then outside of that, the Yankees are still hot. There's nothing to say there, man. They're still hot, man.
But then, it's crazy. I keep waiting for him to slow down a little bit, but it just hasn't really happened. Not even they'll lose a game here and there, but it's still it's crazy. I haven't seen anything like this in a very long time.
Yeah, it was even crazier. Them damn Astros are right behind them, freaking hot too.
I know.
And then the Astros beat between the Yankees and the Mets. They beat them like it was like 3-2 by both parties. So that's one of the teams that worried me as well. I don't know why, man.
Yeah. Well, they've given them fits in the playoffs too. They're just it's a good team. They're even though they lost Correa, they and Springer, I still feel like they just backfill these guys. You got Yordan Alvarez, who's been awesome. Who else? That kid, the Pena kid, the shortstop, who's having a great year.
Yeah.
Obviously, Altuve's still there. The pitching's been good. It's just like they just keep filling these guys in. It's crazy.
That's what I said. They're like the Spurs, man. Just don't know.
I know.
It's like the next guy, whoever they have is that the next guy up is even feel like he's better than the last guy.
I know. This Pena kid, I'm just like blown away by. They lose Correa. They put this Pena kid. He's batting .278. 11 homers, 30 RBIs. 24-year-old rookie. Like just filling them in. They lose Correa, who's a perennial All-Star, and they just backfill him with a guy who's putting up the same numbers.
Yeah, that's what I said. Maybe I want to say their farm system must be immaculate, man.
Yeah.
Guys are seeing what these All-Star guys are doing, and they're just ready to fill in the role once their number is called. So I think that's one of the great things they do.
For sure.
And then on the other side in the NL, the Mets moved to second place. Dodgers are back in first, by a game. And then the Braves, man, they in third, man. What's going on? Another team that's hot.
They've been playing good since they got off to kind of a slow start there. But they're back around where people thought they'd be. I think the Mets are still outperforming a little bit, but the Mets are getting healthy. Dodgers are doing what we expected out of them. Yeah, it doesn't look like the Padres are going to go away either. They're kind of hanging around in that second spot. But yeah, it should should be a good race out there in the West. And then interesting to see how the Braves can they can get up and pass the Mets and get into the first place spot there in the East, because only the two teams get the bye, right? Now,
yeah,
and the other four got to duke it out in those one game playoffs or anything.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to be in those spots, because all it takes is one game or one pitcher to have a bad game. All of a sudden, your team gives up 8 runs and just can't recover.
Exactly.
And, not too much in the NHL. The Sharks announced they're hiring their first black GM, Mike Greer. He actually played for the Sharks, which is going to be interesting. Just to see how much of a leash he gets, and if he can turn around that team. One of the teams with one of the best logos, in my opinion. It's gonna be interesting to see what he could do over there, especially from being a former player too. So
yeah, he's definitely seems like he's garnered a lot of respect in the different NHL circles from his playing years and working his way up into the system. But yeah, it's the first black GM in the NFL and NHL. I hope he does well.
Yeah, same here. Because if he does well, then it gives other coaches or GMs opportunities, coaches opportunities. So
exactly.
Looking forward to seeing how this plays out.
Yeah, his brother's the GM of the Dolphins, right? Chris Greer.
Sure. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So maybe this becomes a trend. But I think we're moving in that direction anyway for all sports. We're going to see more former players become coaches and GMs or assistants. Filling that back office role for some of these teams.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, look at Joe Sakic, ex player for the Avalanche, put that, fixed that whole roster over there in Colorado and got them a Stanley Cup. So
yep.
I think It doesn't work all the time, but I feel like he's the guys that do it well. That can do it pretty well.
It's funny. It's always the guys that are like either not like superstars, but like right below it that do well, and they have they experience some kind of winning which is kind of funny.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I mean, Sakic was a high end guy, but I know what you mean. I feel like it's like the guys that you knew them, they were decent, but sometimes they make a better GM/coach than they were a player.
A player, yeah. I mean, look at Steve Kerr. I mean, your boy.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty much just a 3-point specialist, 3-point shooter.
Mm-hmm.
Won in Chicago, then left Chicago. Won with the Spurs, then with the coaching. He did good in Phoenix too, but they just couldn't get over the hump. And then he goes to Golden State, and then the rest is history.
Yep.
I think he's sitting at 9 now, so it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting to see if he can get more than Phil.
What was Phil at? 10?
10, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so he's got what? He had 5 with the Bulls, now he's got 4 with Golden State.
Yep. No, he's got 1 with the Spurs. Then I think he's got 3 with the Bulls.
Oh, he wasn't part of that first run, right? He was the second run.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he came towards I wouldn't say like the end of it, but like he missed. Yeah, he wasn't there that first year when they won. And then after they won on that last one, that's when he went to the Spurs and they won again in like 2000 or whatever it was. So.
Oh yeah, 96, 97, 98, 99, 2003. Oh yeah. Okay. 9. No, he has 9 time. Yeah. 5 as a player, 3 with the Bulls, 2 with the Spurs, and then 4 with the Warriors.
Yep. So.
Dang.
It's a good resume to have right now.
Hell yeah.
And then on to the PGA. I mean, not too much here, but your boy Bryson, he gets paid, gets his 125 from Liv. I'm not gonna lie, man. Might have to go play for Liv or something if I'm a golfer.
All the memes are great. Like Kevin Durant, when he said he wanted to get traded, they were all like, Kevin Durant joining Live Golf. It's like they've spent now, I don't know, somewhere probably in the $600 million range to get these guys, and I think none of them have been overly surprising to me. I think Koepka, I'm not, I don't know if he's just like that. He doesn't seem like golf interests him that much. So if he can get a payday, and he's been hurt quite a bit in the last couple of years, for doing less work, and he didn't like to practice anyways. So DJ, I think he's just more indifferent. He's just like, whoa, they gave me $200 million. Cool, sounds good to me. I mean, Bryson has always said, he's in it to make a bunch of money. That's why he put on 40 pounds. He wanted to, destroy courses so he could win tournaments, make a bunch of money. And he even said, he's like, my body's not going to hold up, so I got to make the money while I can, right? So none of that surprised me. The watch out for the PGA Tour is really still on keeping the younger guys on tour. And I think that if they can get the majors to comply and keep these guys out of tournaments, that'll change things. That's really the only card they have left there. They've already upped they've upped the purses for some of these tournaments. They're adding more in. They're doing things they probably should have done a while ago. But again, they weren't being pushed to do these things, and now that they are, you kind of see it just happening at a more rapid speed. Billy Horschel came out today and was like, he's a good golfer. I think he's pretty outspoken about different subjects, but he's like, basically like, I don't care if these guys want to go, like, that's fine. But he's like, don't bash the PGA. They didn't do you wrong, right? Like, you signed up for this. You don't have to go, to every tournament. They require you to play 15 tournaments a year. That's it. If you can play 15 tournaments a year and keep your tour card, fine. You can do whatever you want. So these guys that they're just using these as excuses, like, oh, I want more time. Well, if they play 14 events on the Live Tour and then they play all 4 majors, that's 18 events you're looking at already, minimum. So they're just I wish more of them would come out and just be like, it was for the money. It's a retirement plan. I forget who it was today.
Yeah, if you think about it, like if you suck it up for a year and let's say you suck it up for a year, you play 14 and for each, for Live and the PGA Tour, and you're already getting, let's say, 125 from Live and whatever you make from the PGA. That's a great year. That year to set you up for life.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think that upfront money is probably like a probably multi-year deal, 3 or 4 years or however long that it lasts. But even so, if that's it, you're making that. I think Brendan Grace, who won this past weekend in Portland, he made the $4 million plus whatever his team made for winning. I think his not career earnings, his earnings last year on the PGA Tour was like $2.9 million.
Mm-hmm.
So he's already, with one event, he's already, on out of the water. But it is what it is. I am kind of interested to see how this all kind of plays out and what happens, now that, after this week at the Scottish Open, next week's the British Open, and then it's the FedEx Cup playoffs, and then it's really, end of the season, and just see what the PGA and the European Tour do in the off season here, in terms of, banning these guys and what they're going to do.
Yeah. Or see if they start upping the ante to make sure their younger players don't try to dwell out onto Live. So.
Yep.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's that time again. 4th of July edition of JD's Bites and Brew. What you got for us?
All right. I usually do. I like to do just like some meats on 4th of July. I usually let kind of other people handle the sides and the greens and all that. So this year I did 10 pounds of wings, 2 ways, and then some pork belly in the oven. So typically, I like to smoke all of it. Usually start the pork belly a little earlier, then throw the wings on. But I don't have my smoker, so we improvise this year. So I did the wings in the oven. So I just do a little, pat them down, dry them off, to salt, pepper, a little bit of vegetable oil, get them nice and coated, and then I do like a barbecue type rub. So it's like onion powder, garlic powder, paprika, a little touch of cinnamon, and a little chili powder, and cayenne, a little touch of cayenne there. So mix that all together. So that's like the dry rub. Throw those in the oven for about an hour, flipping them halfway through. And then I did it two different sauces. So I did a buffalo garlic and a honey barbecue. So coated those all up, threw them on the grill when they came out.
Oh, nice.
Just like kind of flash grill them, get them a little crispy, and yeah, just left them in the sauce and served them like that. They came out pretty good. On the pork belly, again, I like it smoked. It just gives it time to slow cook it. I was a little bit under the gun. I started a little late because I had the wings going. What I did with this is basically use that same barbecue rub and kind of really coated the pork belly, threw it in the oven at 350 for about 30 minutes, covered, and then I took off the cover, threw it on like 425, so ran that for about 15 minutes, pulled it out, covered it in barbecue sauce and butter, and then put it back in for another 10 minutes, and then broiled it until it got all crispy, and then let that sit. It wasn't as tender as I'd like it, but with the time I had and what I had at my parents' house, we did the best we could. That's why I said I usually like to get like the either the full pork belly or the thick strips, and then smoke them. You really don't need a ton with them. I just do. Honestly, it's just like I salt them. I use some coarse salt them for like a couple hours, let them sweat out a little bit, and then I just cover it in a like an applewood rub or something like that, and smoke them, and then just dice them up. You don't really need anything other than that.
Yeah, I love it. That's one of my favorite things is the pork belly, especially when it you squish it and just like melts, so to say. Especially when it's like barbecue flavor or stuff like that. So.
Yeah, no, it is. It's one of my favorite ones to do. It used to be so easy to find. Now it's like it's hard. It's hard to find pork belly these days.
Yeah, I feel like a lot more people are on it now than before.
Yeah.
So And then what would you guys drink that down with for the 4th of July?
All right. So being the July, it was warm out, so sitting outside. Went with a spiked lemonade. So the Fabrizia Italian style lemonade. So it's the vodka, limoncello, and lemon juice. It's slightly carbonated, but it's not too bad.
Okay.
And they're kind of known for their limoncello. But it was refreshing. Put it on ice, sit in the pool, having a lemonade. It comes in at 7%, so it's not like some of these are 4 or 5. This one's got a little more kick to it, but not up to that 9-10 that some of the other lemonades go to. So
that's still good though.
Oh yeah. But you can have 2 or 3 and be doing all right. But no, I thought it was really good. The flavor was good. It wasn't overly sugary. That's what you got to watch out for with these things sometimes. And it wasn't overly carbonated, so I thought it was really good. I'd probably throw it down at like a 7.7.
That's not bad.
No, it was good. It was tasty.
That's close to an 8. So
yep,
definitely something I want to check out. I like the lemonade drinks. I feel like especially when I make mixed drinks. Some of the best ones is with like pineapple lemonade or like some kind of orange juice. So right. I feel like that's right there.
It is. Yeah, I like the vodka lemonade, but if you can get it already pre-made in a can, don't have to worry about mixing it all up, then more power to you.
Well, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like my mix is sometimes you might want it stronger. Some days you might want it like normal. So
I don't mind if I'm at home, but I'm like if I'm going out somewhere, I don't want to be bringing like my vodka and my lemonade, or I guess you could pre-mix it, but I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I'd rather just have a couple cans,
Yeah, I'm definitely add that to the list. That one and I'm still looking. I was trying to find the other one from last week. The Jameson. The Jameson. I couldn't find it anywhere. I was like, what the hell is this thing?
Oh yeah, you gotta find it. It's delicious.
But I'll add that to the list. As soon as I pick it up, I'll send you that pic.
All right.
Got some barbecues to go to in the next few upcoming weeks. So
there you go.
Trying to get it for those. And then that's JD's Bites and Brew, everybody. And then this week for the BRRs, still going through some other shows. We had The Boys, episode 7. Great show. Can't say anything bad. Huge plot twist on the last episode. Something I didn't really see coming because it didn't really give like any hints or Easter eggs. Or maybe I just missed them. But it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. But definitely looking forward to that. Excuse me. And then there's Westworld. I'm still trying to give it a try. But pretty much just seems like they're just repeating itself. Same villains, same story kind of. But I'm really thinking that's just the premise of the show. They're pretty much going to repeat. Like what show was that where they had kind of like, you remember like American Horror Story where they have like different but same characters? But I feel like that's what they're doing in Westworld. Same story, same characters, but different, but slight twist on like on each season of what they're trying to accomplish or the main plot.
What was the movie with Bill Pullman? Was it Bill Paxton? The Sinner. I felt like it was like that.
Yeah, but the Sinner was more. But that's the thing. The Sinner did different characters and different seasons. Some of them, but that's what I'm saying. But they did the same characters, but not the same actors, different like roles, so to say. This I just feel like everything's the same, but the premise of the season, like there's a little instead of trying to get out of Westworld, they're already out of Westworld, but they're living in another Westworld because the way that people are in the Matrix, so to say, with what's going on. So, but I mean, I'm still trying to give it a try. Trying to see, hoping it surprises me, but we'll see what happens. And then The Old Man is good. Definitely want to check that out on the lines of like Born type of series. But with an older gentleman who's kind of forced out of retirement. Definitely something you want to check out when you get a chance. But it's only like 4 episodes on now. So, I mean, sometimes you like to wait till the season's like almost done or done so you can binge it. Because there's a lot of other stuff you can check out as well. Binge the Terminal List, finish that. That's with the Chris Pratt. He's pretty much, let's say this is like a Man on Fire meets like a SEAL Team 6 type of movie. He comes home from the army, special forces, and some stuff happens. He kind of gets dragged back into his past, but he also has like what is it called when you come back from the like Army or Navy, and you have a not CT.
PTSD.
Yeah, he has a PTSD, which kind of makes it confusing, but you kind of see what people go through that have that. But he has it more on of a escalated level because of some stuff happens with his brain. But I mean, instead of trying to get vengeance and making people get locked up, he's out for blood. So kind of like Man on Fire. I mean, everybody gonna get burned. That did him wrong. So overall, it was a good show. I'm not sure how they're gonna go into another season. The way it ended, based off how much he burned, so to say. It's pretty much nothing left for him to. There's pretty much nothing left that should have came out of the ashes except for one or two things. But that's gonna be interesting to see if they try to bring that show back, especially his health status. I'm trying not to give too much away. See how they would do another season.
Yeah,
but definitely something you can check out when you get a chance. 8 episodes, quick watch, some action in there. Shoot 'em up, bang bang, stuff like that. But overall, it wasn't bad, man.
Awesome. Let's check it out.
Then we had the show, man. Stranger Things, man. They bamboozled me, man. I've been hoodwinked, led astray. I thought this was the last season. Then I saw the ending. I was like, wait a minute. How did they end it on this?
Yeah, so I had thought it was the last season too until the end of episode 8, I believe. I think I forget. I read somewhere that they were doing one more season. So I did know going into the last episode that they were having another season, but the whole time, basically the whole season, I was like you. I thought this was it. So like you said, like how are they gonna kind of like tie everything up? And then we get through that last episode. You think that's it for Vecna? Everyone's you had a couple people that they got a little beat up. Eddie dies. Max is in the hospital in a coma. And then all of a sudden, boom! The earthquake hits and opens up the upside down again, and it's just like, oh boy, what's going on now? Now what do we do?
Yeah, man. And then they kind of mentioned the time jump that is going to be like the next season is going to be like a few years down the line, like 3 years down the line. So we're going to see more of Hawkins pretty much looking like the upside down. My thing was that these kids are about to be 30, man. What's going on? They're not in middle school no more.
Yeah.
So it's going to be hard to see how they can maintain the childlike, images of these players, of these actors throughout the next season. But I mean, overall, it was a good season, man. I liked it. So you guys see a lot of action in this one.
Yeah, it was good. I felt like they dragged the last episode out a little bit. Probably could have shortened it up a little bit. There was a couple parts, especially at the end when they were like doing like the food drive or whatever, that probably didn't need. But yeah, I thought overall the season was great. I mean, I thought that episode 8 was fantastic, leading up to the final battle. I think that I just think that like the big characters shine, like Nancy, Steve, Eddie. Really, I thought he was awesome.
Yeah, he did his thing, man.
Yeah, the concert, the metal concert was.
Yeah, no, I was like, oh, yeah. I was like, oh, get it, Eddie.
Yeah, that was awesome. And then, the bond that him and Dusty had, right? Like, he was kind of the nerd bond, older and younger. And I don't know. I thought the characters did really good. Still, I'm with Tom. I'm not a huge fan of Will. What is something about him? I don't know. Yeah, I thought it was great. I mean, I'm excited to see now how they close this thing out. Like Tom said, they've had the finale written out. They know how it's going to end. They just now got to figure out how to get from where they're at now to the end.
Oh yeah, I'm glad they're done with that the Russian storyline too.
Oh my god, yeah. The fact that they went back to the freaking the jail was like, oh my god, we got to go through more of this. But I'm glad that's over. I'm kind of glad that Papa is dead now. I kind of had enough of that guy too. Yeah, I'm just kind of I don't know how they're gonna end everything, right? I mean, obviously something's still going on because Will gets back to Hawkins. He feels the slither, yeah. So just how they tie everything up. Who's running the upside down? Because I thought it seemed like Vecna, but maybe not.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Supposedly, they were saying that Vecna was the one that he was the one that figured out how to control the what is it called, like the dust or whatever that thing is, the
black dust.
Dust, yeah. And then the black dust is pretty much what controls the creatures. But I don't know, man. because at the end Vecna disappeared. So was it really him controlling it, or did he create a bond between him and the like the dust, and like him and the creatures? Like, is he kind of like Brainiac, where he lives like throughout everything since he's like part of the dust now or something like that? Because you remember the way he was like charging, like I won't say charging up, but like using his powers, all those tentacle things were like going inside him, kind of how like, L goes in the water and, goes between dimensions. Maybe that's something else is going on, definitely going on there, that they're probably going to see in the next season. So upset we got to wait another year or a year or two for the next season, man.
Yeah, I know. It's in 2024. It'll be out.
Damn, it's like just 2 years, man.
I know. I know.
They should be filming that right now. That's what they should be doing. We're going to have to wait and see, man. Hopefully Netflix has some other stuff in store. It's one of their staples. Right now, I think their all-time most viewed show is still what you call it, the game show. I can't remember the name now. The Korean game show when people were getting killed.
Squid Games.
Yeah, Squid Games. But they said Stranger Things is on pace to pass it. So it's going to be interesting to see when that comes out, or the next season, and then when the next season of Squid Games come out, because they're doing another season of that too. So
yeah.
And then outside of that, really wasn't much else. Checked out the new Jurassic Park. A little confusing, so to say. Felt like it was just a movie about dinosaurs and couldn't really tell what they were fighting for. I mean, they brought back a bunch of the old cast. I feel like most of the action stuff was what we see from the commercials. I don't know. It was kind of like a directionless movie. Like I feel like if you watch this, it doesn't relate much to the old Jurassic Parks. It kind of seems like there's no real story behind the Jurassic Parks. Like, it doesn't seem like it's going anywhere. Mm-hmm. It's just like, hey, the dinosaurs are here. We got to deal with it. And then there's people just pretty much experimenting with dinosaurs, trying to create new species with the dinosaurs to sell them on the black market. But it's nothing like, hey, the dinosaurs are going to kill all the humans or something. Mm-hmm. Like, there's no like big major plot twist behind it. So
right.
Definitely something you could check out if you want to, continue watching the series, but not something, you'll be upset about that you missed. Kind of one of those movies probably going to be on TNT in a year or two. Mm-hmm. That you'll check out once or twice, or you'll, pop on and see once it's running.
Yeah, I'll probably wait for that. Probably for the TNT special.
Oh, no, I was going to say AMC's bringing back the $5 movies on Tuesdays until October. So that'd be a good way to go see a movie for $5. But you have to go see like the regular movie. You can't go to like an iMac mm-hmm. or like a 3D or anything like that. So
right. I did finish Lincoln Lawyer, by the way.
Oh, how'd you like it?
It was pretty good. Some big twists there in the last couple episodes, finding out that Trevor was a killer, and then he gets shot, and then him finding out at the end there that the judge was after him. But it does look like they already signed on to a second season, which is cool. I'm guessing it'll be a lot on that. There'll be a lot more on the Soto guy for the trafficking the women, the one that his ex-wife was on.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I liked it. It was good. It was. I think you're right. Like it sometimes it feels like a comedy. Like it has a comedy feel to it, but it's not really. It's not really a comedy.
Yeah, that's what it is. I feel like sometimes those parts where people were like trying to tell jokes, but the jokes were like
really bad.
Forced. And then it's like how some of the actors were like bad acting.
Yes.
But most of them died though. Or their story wasn't really that relevant. I feel like this is one of the shows that's going to need a little boost in the budget. Yeah. And then it'll be, it's a good show now, but that's how they go from good to great. So.
Yep, agreed.
And then they got throwing some more cases. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, until next time.
Until next time, Rich.
I want to thank y'all for rocking out here on the Sports Sidebar Podcast. Give y'all something to ride out on.